Creatives, how can you make art while working full time? I hear so many people say that they don't have time to be creative. They just can't. The truth is, creativity was never meant to be dedicated to massive blocks of time where you would escape from the world. It was meant to be an approach to life, a skill employed all day, every day. From creating art to solving problems, creativity is a part of you and it is magic. Today we're going to talk about how to build a creative life even with a demanding job and all of your other responsibilities by using psychological principles such as setting an intentional mindset, reframing our relationship with productivity and creativity, and employing time management that matches what we actually know about our mental and creative fitness. The topics we're going to cover are why relying on days off such as the weekend is a bad strategy, how to use your free time such as commute and chores as idea generation time, sleep hygiene, mental and creative fitness, and finally, how to see creativity as a way of life, not a temporary escape from reality. First, stop putting pressure on your days off. Research suggests that 20 minutes 3 times a week is enough creative activity to noticeably improve well-being. And for productivity, time constraints can actually sharpen your focus. The problem with the weekend is that when it arrives, we are tired. All we want to do is relax. Or we have to clean the house, do the food shopping, take the kids to sport, things like that. Putting pressure on the weekend sets you up to fail. You may not have as much control over your free time as you think. And attempting to hyper-control that time is, at the very least, not setting up your mind in a creative state, and at the very worst may negatively influence other areas of your life that you want to nurture so that those positive vibes can be integrated into your creative practice. People at their absolute peak can only access the flow state, which is the optimal state for creativity, for about 2 hours. After that, the brain actually fatigues. Prolific author Steven Pressfield only writes for 2 to 3 hours a day. So, if you're sitting down for even an hour, you're pretty close to the most successful creatives. Not only that, but if you walk away from the creative process before you're exhausted, you've left the door open for the next creative session, and you'll likely have some ideas left over that you can pick up during that session. Creativity is a long walk, it's not a sprint or a marathon. So, there's a fine line between consistent strategy and staying adaptable, but the bottom line is, do not set yourself up for failure. Now let's talk about intentionally using your non-creative time to actually be creative. Your commute, cooking, walking the dog, cleaning the house. These moments are a gold mine for creativity. Moving the body or engaging in a mundane or easy task with no extra stimulation allows your brain to imagine, to reflect, and to process your experience on this planet. This is why people find they have creative ideas in the shower. It is quite common these days for people to overstimulate their mind. And the problem with this is that you aren't giving yourself space to come up with the ideas that you are then going to work on when you do sit down with your creative practice. So, in these moments, let your mind wander and write down any ideas that come to you. Personally, I like to drive home from work with no music or podcasts or audiobooks or anything playing, because then when I get home from work, I'm fully ready to write some music because I've already engaged my mind in that reflective practice. Also, what you're doing here is not putting so much pressure on idea generation when you sit down to create, because you can simply sit down and execute ideas you've already had during different points in your day. And the process of doing this allows ideas to come naturally as you execute what you've already come up with. The reality is, if your brain is overstimulated all day, you might not even have the dopamine available to engage in creativity. So nurture and protect your mind. Think of your creativity like physical fitness. Now, this also relates to sleep hygiene. Many people find as they are falling asleep or laying on the couch that they start coming up with lots of ideas. So think to yourself about what the trade-off means for you. Would you rather stay up late because you're feeling creative, or drown out that source of creativity so that you can get a better night's sleep? Honestly, that really is an individual preference, but it's worth having a conscious awareness of what you're actually doing. The bottom line is sleep is very important, and that relates back to my issues with the weekend in general. We need good sleep habits to be well rested, and we need to be well rested to regulate our emotions and restore our mental, physical, and creative fitness. So, what exactly is creative fitness? Creativity is more than this abstract thing we have no control over. It's a combination of mental, emotional, and physical skill that improves with conditioning. Mental fitness is a flourishing area of research, and I think creative fitness is a part of our overall fitness. But here we will focus on the mental and emotional aspects. We have already alluded to many facets of creative fitness, but let's expand on them further now. Creative fitness includes an ability to focus, an ability to generate and connect ideas, being open and emotionally in tune, having mental flexibility, such as a capacity to experiment, play, and learn from mistakes, and an ability to return to ideas repeatedly. How might you work on your creative fitness? Well, one of the things you need to do, hello Odie, is get mental rest. We can also practice focus. I need to sneeze. Despite being allergic to cats, I have two. Also, protect your dopamine resources and use boredom as a superpower. Take care of your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. So, you need to see creativity broadly as a way of life, not as a specific hobby you engage in at a particular period of time. If you can shift your mindset towards seeing creativity as an approach to life, this I think is the most important thing. Creativity should not be an escape from reality that you're looking for. Your creative output should be an expression of the life that you live. You are processing your time on this planet into something meaningful, thereby creating a feeling of meaning within you. So, aim to fall in love with the process of creativity as the process of living, so that your entire life becomes raw material for whatever your art is. That way, you are living a creative, meaningful lifestyle through positive and negative experiences, rather than trying to squeeze meaning into this crevice of your week or month of your year, depending on your responsibilities. And I think this is really important, not just for art, but for innovation in society in general. So I'm incredibly passionate about putting creativity front and center in the world and integrating it into everything that we do. I hope something here helps you reconnect to your creativity, even inside the chaos of a busy life.